I'm Isabel Guzman. I'm the administrator of the SBA, the federal agency that's focused on helping America's entrepreneurs start and grow resilient businesses. Thank you so much for joining the SBA and our partner Business Forward for today's Small Business Digital Alliance virtual training event, which features our national members sharing how to scale, operate, and protect your business with the more than 300 free resources in our digital tool library. We have worked hard to build this library for you. It has tools that have worked for your peers to attract new customers, enter new markets, prevent cyber attacks, and learn about AI. During the COVID pandemic, small businesses adopted technology at high rates. Entrepreneurs are now using technologies to strengthen their businesses. As digital technologies are constantly evolving, small businesses need the experts, the know-how, and the resources to keep up with all the changes, new tools, latest trends, and best practices. Today's speakers and allies are the experts and the creators from industry-leading technology companies that will help you power your business. Leverage this Small Business Digital Alliance that we've created for you to position your business for success, especially now with the unprecedented opportunities in the marketplace. President Biden has led a historic level of investment in America, in American innovation, American manufacturing and supply chains and workers, and in American infrastructure. And all that is translating into opportunities for Main Streets and small businesses, including the 14 million new entrepreneurs who applied to launch their businesses since the president took office. I spend a lot of time in America's neighborhoods with our new and established small business owners like all of you. Businesses who are using AI to improve customer service support for people using their products at all times of the day across the country. Or businesses using their COVID-era launched e-commerce sites to now sell their products to the majority of the world's consumers, which are living outside of the United States and who power a $5.2 trillion global e-commerce marketplace. Our Small Business Digital Alliance is about strengthening American small businesses with technology so they can grow, create jobs, and help us ensure that America's economy and global competitiveness is strong. My greatest thanks to Business Forward, all of our corporate SBDA national members, and the more than 50 local allies and small businesses who have joined us on this journey to advance America's digital transformation. I hope you enjoy the session, share content with your fellow business owners, and engage with us more on social and at sba.gov and at the smallbusinessdigitalalliance.com. Thank you so much.
Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle Munson, and I'm part of the content studio at Principal, and I'll be moderating today's conversation. I'm excited to be joined by my colleague Meg Anderson, our Chief Information Security Officer, as well as Venus Quates, the owner and CEO of LaunchTech. Now, LaunchTech is a women, minority, and service-disabled veteran-owned company, which has expertise in navigating critical technology and systems engineering infrastructure for enterprise clients in both the public and private sectors. And I'm proud to say that LaunchTech is a Principal Benefits and Protection client. Now, today we hope to emphasize points of optimism in this high stakes and often hazardous world of cybersecurity. Now, we've come a long way in the overall awareness and security, but we also think it's important to celebrate the legitimate wins and advances when the persistent threats can get so much attention. So let's dive right in. Meg, let's start with you. So why do you feel it's important to recognize these cybersecurity gains? And is there a particular point of optimism that's top of mind?
One reason I'm so optimistic about cyber is because technology is everywhere and increasingly embedded in our daily lives. And although this reality does introduce new unpredictable vulnerabilities, it also means more software firms are rising to the need. Software providers are recognizing that greater security isn't just a good practice, it's just good for business. I expect that we'll see things like multi-factor authentication and other critical cybersecurity features built into the core of more and more software, safeguards will become more common and will also be within the budgets of small businesses. And even more exciting, when there is an incident, data recovery is becoming more seamless.
Now, Venus, turning to you, how does your company, LaunchTech, see small businesses embedding more of this technology and software into their core operations? And what I think is a critical point, how are they making this more affordable?
Sure. So I usually advise small businesses to embrace technology and software integration to enhance their operations. Like Meg mentioned, there are plenty of options on the market, and they're far more affordable than when I started my company in 2016. Software companies are leveraging tools like automation and AI, and this helps consumers streamline processes and overall reduce their costs. So they've introduced various options like cloud-based solutions, subscription models, and bundled services. So you don't have to be a multi-million-dollar company to make your frontline cyber security a priority. Additionally, there are plenty of free and valuable educational resources and support networks online. So all of which can be used to empower small businesses to safeguard their digital assets effectively.
Thanks, Venus. Meg, these businesses, of course, also work within a broader national and regulatory framework. So how have you seen a collaboration between government and industry on cybersecurity? What progress have you seen that's noteworthy?
Oh, absolutely, Kyle. There's definitely been progress there. There's greater collaboration between government and industry partners, more now than ever before. This commitment to information sharing between public and private is also helping others to avoid becoming victims of cyber attacks or to recover much quicker from them. I'm also hearing more discussion about harmonizing laws and regulations to bring more consistency to cyber threat and incident reporting, which for the business simplifies what can sometimes be a very complex process.
Yeah. Well, Venus, this is in your wheelhouse, I think, because LaunchTech, as we said, serves government agencies and corporations alike. So what are you seeing in terms of this greater teamwork between government and industry in cybersecurity?
Sure. So I started my career 26 years ago in the intelligence space in the military and as a government contractor. I've also worked for technology manufacturers, architecting solutions, and then as a decision maker and buyer in the commercial space before I started my company. So my view of this landscape is pretty broad and pretty multifaceted. As Meg mentioned, I am thrilled to see greater collaboration between government and industry in various areas. And the collaborative efforts for me, they demonstrate a positive shift towards leveraging the strengths of both government and industry players to tackle complex challenges and to drive innovation that benefits our society as a whole. And that in and of itself makes me more hopeful about the future. I think some key areas where I've seen collaboration myself, fostering positive change, data privacy and security regulations. Governments worldwide are recognizing the importance of data privacy and security. And these collaborations are resulting in more robust and balanced regulations, which we've all seen. AI ethics and governance. There's also larger investments being made in digital infrastructure. So the building and expansion of broadband networks, 5G connectivity, and other critical infrastructures, things like that drive technological progress and economic growth. And, why we're here today, cybersecurity initiatives. I think the rise of cyber threats has highlighted the importance of collaboration to bolster cybersecurity measures. So it's been proven that by working together, we can better identify vulnerabilities, we can introduce new techniques, we can create more streamlined frameworks and create threat intelligence and implement more robust defense strategies overall.
Yeah. Now, Meg, Venus just covered a lot of territory there. And so when we talk about government and private sector collaboration, another thing that comes to mind is just information for maybe even some of the smallest businesses who want to get a foothold in cybersecurity. What do you see in terms of free resources that can help some of these companies just get started and know which direction to go?
A couple of examples. You can find specific cyber guidance for small and mid-sized businesses on www.cisa.gov, which is for the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, including tasks for CEOs and services like cyber tabletop exercise packages, so you can practice responding to cyber incidents within your businesses without having to make it up on your own. Use the package on the CISA site, and you'll be able to walk through a cyber incident and to get practice. You should also check out free Cyber Readiness Institute certification programs at becyberready.com. You can use the champion referral code Principal, and by investing some of your time and your employees' time, you can enjoy the peace of mind that your business is improving cybersecurity in meaningful ways.
Thanks, Meg. You know, one of the key recommendations I think that we find in a lot of these, even these free resources, is that cybersecurity IT needs to be integrated into the heart of your business operation, into the core function. And when all too often in the past, it might have been more of an afterthought. So, how have you seen this evolve from maybe not thinking first about cybersecurity to thinking about it in the basic business planning?
Sure. And Venus touched on this a little bit as well. Technology is firmly integrated into business operations today, and the financial impact of a significant cyber incident has become a business risk, not just a technology problem. The costs associated with data breaches vary greatly, but research shows that the average cost of a data breach is over $4 million per incident. That's a lot, no matter how big your business is, right? So over time, we've learned cybersecurity is more effective and less expensive when we're proactive. Thinking about how to keep your business secure should be started when your business plans are written. When changes occur to your business, such as office expansions, technology purchases, acquisitions, new employees, you should be considering the impact to your cybersecurity program. Very similar to how you might adapt your budget. For business owners, cybersecurity should not be an afterthought, but rather a core business concern.
Venus, how does LaunchTech help both your agency and your business clients bring IT and cybersecurity into the hearts of their operations?
Sure. So again, as a business owner, I know firsthand the crucial role that technology plays in business operations, especially for small businesses. So integrating IT and cybersecurity measures early on is essential. A few strategies that I believe are really helpful is hiring the best you can afford, or engaging consultants or experts to assist where you have gaps. And again, this is not an area you want to scrimp on at any size. Meg spoke earlier about prioritizing IT in your business planning, and that's crucial. No matter how small you or your budget are, implementing the right technology can make a significant impact. Another is embracing the cloud. So cloud services provide cost-effective solutions for data storage, collaboration and task management tools, software applications, and so on. Data security and privacy is another for me. So prioritizing data security and privacy from the beginning. And this is to make sure the sensitive information of your company, your employees, and your customers is safeguarded. So lastly, we all know that knowledge is power. So properly training your employees on how to use the IT tools and systems effectively and encouraging IT awareness can avoid security risks.
Thank you. So Meg, if we're successful in this mindset shift, bringing IT cybersecurity into the heart of companies, does this mean that businesses also are focusing more resources on cybersecurity? What is the trajectory of the cybersecurity spend?
The conversation has shifted, Kyle, from who is the specific cyber person or team to how does cyber impact a particular process or service offered by your business. And that means more and more decision makers and experts within companies, including business leadership and IT teams, are being exposed to thinking proactively about managing cyber risk and assessing it without necessarily having security in their job title. But as Venus mentioned, it does take focus. And just like any other solid business analysis, small business owners are likely to need deeper expertise once in a while, but they understand the unique risks of their business, so they're in the best position to think about risk mitigation.
So Venus, I know this conversation is one where we're focused on the glass half full, but we do need to talk about some of the risks. So what are some of the cybersecurity risks you commonly see among small business, and how are they getting better at spotting these farther in advance before there's a serious breach?
So I think awareness is first. The biggest misconception some small businesses have is that they are too small to be targeted, when in reality, they are the perfect targets. So some of the most common cybersecurity risks I've seen are phishing attacks, ransomware, insider threats. A great one is Mom 101, your weak passwords, outdated software. We mentioned this earlier about employee training, so the lack thereof, and third-party risks. So, when you're collaborating with other third-party vendors, partners and such, that can also introduce additional cybersecurity vulnerabilities. So to improve your overall posture, I've seen new things come about just because of the new regulations imposed by federal government as well. So the new adopted measures are making sure your employees are trained on a regular basis, installing endpoint protection, enforcing multi-factor authentication, making sure your software is updated, internal cybersecurity audits and risk assessments. And one of my favorites is making sure everything is backed up, so data backup and recovery.
Thanks to everybody for listening and taking part.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Catherine Wragg, Chief People Officer at TriNet. For those of you who may not be familiar with TriNet, we provide full-service, industry-specific HR solutions providing PEO and HRIS services, such as access to human resources expertise, TriNet-sponsored benefits, HR risk mitigation, HR compliance, payroll processing, and R&D tax credits to thousands of our amazing small and medium-sized businesses. We are committed to driving our mission to power the success of small and medium-sized businesses by supporting their growth and enabling their people, meeting them where they are in their journey. One of the ways we do this is by participating in fireside chats like this. I'm pleased to be here today with Timothy Torres, TriNet's Chief Security Officer, to talk about the importance of the human element related to cybersecurity issues. As a seasoned executive with more than 20 years in the field of security and technology, Timothy brings a rich perspective on how organizations can balance risk as they fulfill their mission and safely serve their customers. So thank you, Timothy, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Very happy to be here, Catherine. SMBs are a critical piece of our nation's economy, and we appreciate the opportunity to shed more light on important topics, tools, and resources to help strengthen these businesses and drive their success. I'm excited to share our thoughts today with this audience to illustrate the potential issues, along with offering innovative solutions that are immediately actionable to help business owners protect themselves.
Thank you, Timothy. So how big of a problem is cybercrime for small and medium-sized businesses? And because businesses are at different stages of readiness for a possible attack, how should companies think about being prepared and why?
Great question. So first, the problem from a cybersecurity standpoint happens to be there's a lot of money to be made, unfortunately. Cybersecurity has, in fact, over the last several years, experienced a meteoric rise where we have seen the cybercrime industry explode to become the world's third largest economy from a gross domestic product standpoint, behind the United States and China. This year, it's projected that cybercrime will bring in a whopping $8 trillion. Crazy. And the problem continues to expand, and companies are left trying their best to defend themselves. Now, as it relates to small and medium-sized businesses, there's three things that I think that stand out to me. Number one, as crazy as this sounds, SMBs are actually a very large target, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute. Number two, they're a soft target. And then number three, they're a rich and rewarding target. So how are SMBs a large target? Well, from the standpoint of SMBs make up 90% of US companies. From the macro aspect of if you're an adversary, your target has a high concentration of SMBs in that segment, and because of that, second part is also true. They're soft from a standpoint of most small, medium-sized businesses lack the budget, they lack the enterprise level security, They lack dedicated resources because they're doing their best to supply their mission and fulfill their ambition. And then lastly, they're a rich and rewarding target. And what do I mean by that? Most SMBs are actually data rich. They have a lot of confidential data that they have to protect that has a monetary value in cybercrime. And then second, they are fighting to survive. And because of that, many times they're willing to pay a ransom when they get hit with ransomware. And cyber criminals have figured out this equilibrium where they know what the willingness to pay, and they are able to sort of use that strategy against SMBs. Lastly, why are these SMBs ultimately unprepared? I think about it from the standpoint of they haven't thought about the cybersecurity problem as a business risk. In fact, it's not just SMBs. A lot of companies have not transitioned into this modern age thinking about security as a business risk. And so because of that, they have not conducted a risk assessment to understand how would it impact their own organization. They haven't established a management plan and program to support the outcomes that they want. And because of that, until we see a high adoption in thinking about security as a business risk, I think this problem will continue.
Yeah, so it's a good point. It's sort of out of sight, out of mind, right? If it hasn't happened to me, I'm not thinking about it on a day-to-day basis. So I think there's a misnomer on sort of the real source of the issue when companies think about cyber attacks, right? We talk about, phishing attempts or ransomware and sharing of data because of the type of business that we're in specifically. Is technology really the issue?
I love where you're going. So first and foremost, the cybersecurity problem is a human-centered problem. It begins and ends with the human element. It's a challenge from a culture adoption standpoint, from a behavior perspective, and a human capital standpoint. And so I know organizations want to go right to getting the right encryption and firewalls and anti-malware and having all the technology to help defend them, and that is important. But if you don't have wide adoption of security being a team sport for the company, we won't win. A company cannot win without full adoption of the workforce. From the boardroom to the break room, everyone has to take security seriously. And to do that, you have to create a winning culture and have to have a message that resonates with the workforce, that they're part of the solution and can help the company have successful outcomes.
So years ago, I remember when you joined TriNet, we spent time talking about changing the culture. So it's really about roles and responsibilities. It's about making folks think differently within the organization and creating this sort of part of the fabric of the organization, right? The culture that you talk about. So we all have a responsibility, whether it's personally and professionally, to protect whether it's our own data, our customers' data, and think differently about this process. I know what we've done here, but how can we take that to the small business and really help them understand what are the things that they can do without having this big infrastructure that you talk about or having all these tools?
I love that. So here's where I would start with, and we've been on our journey from this concept that I'm about to talk about, but I think instead of starting with security and security risks, I think if we up-level the conversation one extra level, we think about what is the ambition of the organization. And if the ambition is to be an error-free, high reliability organization where you have zero harm, quality outcomes, and a high trustworthiness quotient, that really, I think, is the tip of the spear of what success looks like and what we're doing our best every day to protect the company from a security standpoint. And so what I would draw attention to the SMBs out there is to start with a culture of striving to be a high reliability organization where we think about what could go wrong in the organization and we are all together working to reduce errors and reduce harm. And in this construct, and I recommend that people go out there and look up the concept of a high reliability organization. There are discipline principles of deference to expertise, reluctance to simplify, sensitivity to operations. All of these aspects support this overall ambition. And in that concept, I think that that's where the culture piece begins to unfold for an organization to identify security as a risk and say, in the concept and construct of security, we strive to reduce errors and harm. And the security problem can cause catastrophic harm to organizations. And so if we think about it that way, now we have a standing point to be able to introduce this to the entire organization. And I think that it starts with obviously training and awareness. I'll tell you an interesting statistic. I was speaking at a conference a few months ago where there were a lot of SMBs, and by a show of hands, and there were hundreds in the room, I asked, how many of you conduct annual security training? And 2/3 raised their hand. That's good.
Impressive,
That is impressive. The second part of that question was, how many of you conduct annual? Instead of, or the first question was, how many of you at new hire? And the second is, how many of you conduct it annually? The group that conducted it annually was only 1/3 of that. So it was lower number. And the reason that I bring that up is that's not really this exotic concept. We should do training, but the idea is that we should create success for our colleagues to be able to know what their role and responsibility is, and that how senior leadership take this seriously. And then lastly, I think it's important to put our colleagues in the position of understanding if there were a cybersecurity incident on a high magnitude, what the impact and blast radius of that could be. It could put the company out of business. It could ruin their reputation in the marketplace. It could affect even their job. And when we create the concept of what that loss event could occur and how it would impact the company, I think you get more buy-in and adoption from a culture standpoint.
So when you think about, what are the easy steps for folks to do? How do you think about, without having big budgets, without having a lot of resources, what can the small and medium-sized businesses do that's practical?
So first, I think I would start by establishing a fail-safe environment where people understand and have the psychological safety to speak up, to report errors and issues. Here's one aspect. So obviously phishing is one of the top threat vectors for adversaries to go after companies, and that's going directly to their people. And so establishing awareness from that standpoint, obviously conducting training to make sure that users are aware of what the risks are for that, how to report phishing emails that appear to be phishing, and then obviously have a rewarding component of that so that there is a positive message. And then also conduct simulations and report metrics so that the company understands what success looks like from a target standpoint, what their benchmarks are for click rates and what we call fail rates, and then putting that in front of the colleagues on whole and saying, this is where we're at and this is where we're striving to be, because if we do that, we will reduce the risk of being compromised. And then showing the colleagues how they have skin in the game. And so another point that I would mention is, I would actually recommend departments conducting tabletop exercises. You can do it annually, you can set your cadence. You don't even have to design the tabletop yourself. You can go out to the internet and look for cybersecurity tabletop exercises and bring in colleagues and key leaders of the company so that they can experience the severity of a high impact incident and understand what could happen and how they play a role in protecting the organization. So I definitely recommend bringing people into what we call the Gemba, the place of the work, and getting them engaged, and then creating a winning, successful culture of positive reinforcement and a fail-safe environment.
Yeah, I think the tabletops are actually like an underrated commodity, because it's great to do sort of these after actions, what if this happened, right? Or certain scenarios that actually have occurred, and what would you do differently? I think the interesting thing about the sort of safe environment is also, it's okay to tell your employees to slow down a little bit. Sometimes we're all trying to get stuff done as fast as we can, and so we just click on that next email, click on that attachment or whatever. And I know that I've been subject to that even recently, because we're always racing to get things done. But it's actually slow down and pay attention to whatever the source is coming from and what it is, perhaps, right? And does it make sense? And just those little things that we can reinforce with our folks, I think would be really helpful. So,
absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, before we wrap up, there's a lot of talk about artificial intelligence these days. So how do we think about AI and cybersecurity and those two things that are coming together? Because gosh, it's here to stay. So what do we do?
Great question. And the truth is, I don't know that anyone really has the full answers to this as it evolves. But from a thought leadership standpoint, when I think about the security problem around artificial intelligence, I look at it two ways. Obviously, it's a tale of two cities and two worlds. There's the positive aspects that this innovation can bring to organizations, even from a security perspective. But the challenges around it are immense. And I'll bring out a few things. Number one, when I think about what could go wrong, and this conversation is really around the human element, I think about how AI has changed the game from being able to authenticate and validate identities with people. And here's a real practical example. You can go on the internet and search YouTube for videos of Morgan Freeman, and a person is literally not Morgan Freeman. They're speaking on camera, and they're using AI technology to transform their image and their voice to sound exactly, even the inflection points, which Morgan Freeman has a very distinct cadence and voice to try to recreate. They've done it. It's perfect. And why is that important? Well, the issue I think around security is it centers around identity, and it centers around trust. And when that trust and that identity is more difficult to validate and authenticate, what I see the problem being exacerbated is now we don't know who we're talking to on the other side. You can impersonate people easier, and the social engineering aspect, in my opinion, expands radically. You can now even leverage AI to create better phishing templates to go after organizations. Gone are the days of misspelled words, run-on sentences, and stories that you would never believe for you to click a link. Today, we're seeing them very sophisticated. And then the other aspect around trust is that the code is in question. And so there are AI poisoning attacks that can create outputs from generative AI that are questionable and that are actually incorrect. And if we become so reliant on this, we don't have the ability to control the truth and to control sort of what the construct is that we need it to produce. And so those are some of the things that I think about. Cybersecurity can also leverage this and is to help fight AI with AI. And that's going to continue to evolve. But I think that the center to this question is we have to raise our game from a human standpoint. Back to what is the problem around cybersecurity? It's the human element. And now with AI becoming more of a problem, we have to raise our awareness even to a higher degree.
Well, great. Thank you. I appreciate your insights today. You can hear more from Timothy about cybersecurity in his presentation at the 2023 California HR Conference, and it's available on TriNet's online hub called Rise. You can also access his discussion from the SBDA's Digital Tools Library. Thanks again for spending time with us today.
I love the idea that you can put some little seed into the ground and it can turn into this remarkably beautiful plant. People would ask me, where do I learn how to garden? Everything I plant dies. Where do I start? So I came up with the Garden Tutor, which is a kit designed to teach people how to garden. I was selling it on my own website, and I decided to sell it on Amazon. The big box stores just weren't a fit for me. I just didn't have a big line to offer, and you have to go through gatekeepers. And with Amazon, you can go direct to the customer. That's so empowering. We started on Amazon in 2019, and it was just a handful of sales. Literally over the next 4 or 5 months, we grew about 10,000%. The tools and resources that Amazon provides to help run my business are remarkable. Amazon FBA has really allowed me to kind of magnify my impact. There's returns, there's collections, there's all the stuff that's just taken off my plate, so I can focus on creating products and working with customers and innovating and playing in the garden. The feedback that I've gotten from customers has really helped me understand what matters to the customer, and we're continually adding products based on feedback that people are giving us. For 2023 and beyond, the goals are really to build the business out, add more products, build out lines, and focus on gardening. And this is what we're true to. We're selling gardening tools and products that help empower people in the garden. I see our goals on Amazon and our community and business as all kind of interconnected. One of the ways that we do that is we work with a nonprofit organization called Pride, and they do kitting and fulfillment for us. Pride offers jobs for individuals that otherwise would have a really hard time finding jobs in the workplace. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to support that. Our community is a big part of this equation as well, because our community is what's helped us to get where we are. From starting my business in Massachusetts, I never in my wildest dreams thought it was going to grow this much. There is no question in my mind that without Amazon, I would have never gotten this business off the ground. Being able to come to work every day and be passionate about what I'm doing and take what I learned in the garden and bring it to the marketplace is really enjoyable to me.
Thank you for joining. My name is Ravi, and I am the SMB Modern Work and Security Lead at Microsoft. There are 3 areas I want to walk you through today. First, what does the current security landscape look like, and how does this impact you as a small and medium business? Second, how are Microsoft investing in building security solutions built for SMBs in mind? And then finally, what free resources do we have at Microsoft that can help you on this journey of becoming more secure and doing more with less? Security is a key challenge for small and medium businesses. We see that 43% of cyber attacks target small businesses. In addition, 60% of small businesses face closure within 6 months of a cyber breach. Look, cyber attacks are becoming more frequent and sophisticated. In fact, there's been over a 300% increase in ransomware attacks alone in the past year. We've also heard from small businesses that the pressures to manage and secure IT environments is challenging. We know that complexity is a vulnerability. With the emergence of remote and hybrid work, there's also been an influx of technology solutions a company uses. With so many more devices, user groups, and data to manage, it can be hard to keep up with the sophisticated threats that a company faces today. This new distributed landscape can come at the cost of security. Another consistent theme we've heard is that there is a demanding regulatory landscape out there. This means companies have to become secure to stay in business and to do business, even for organizations in traditionally less regulated industries. All these areas can cost you time, money, and pull you away from doing what matters most, which is running your business. The good news is Microsoft have invested in building simple and cost-effective solutions built for small and medium businesses. It's been built to bring you the power of enterprise-grade security that moves beyond traditional antivirus. With AI-based service, you get real-time detection of known or trending threats. The solution looks across your environment against multiple activities and devices and users, and aggregates your alerts into a single incident-making platform that makes it easier for you to manage and respond to threats. Look, at Microsoft, we take great responsibility to protect our customers and work together with fellow defenders to make a world a safer place. It may surprise you to know that Microsoft is the largest security vendor in the world. We help secure more than 700,000 organizations, and countless users rely on our services every day. And we do take our responsibility to serve you seriously. So let's take a look at how this works. If you think of your business as a building, let's look how this solution keeps you safe. Threat and vulnerability management is like a building inspector looking at your doors and windows for potential weaknesses. It's a risk prevention approach to vulnerability management that helps reduce threats before they become serious problems later. Attack surface reduction works by making sure the windows are locked and only the right people have keys to the front door. Next generation protection acts as the lock to the front door. It helps to stop things you don't want to enter, from file-based and fileless malware to spyware. Endpoint detection and response is like a security camera system helping you see and record an intruder in the building. Defender's advanced tools then sets off alarms, allowing you to respond directly to the problem, device, or file. And finally, auto investigation and remediation is your alarm system, calling the authorities and taking the intruder away. Microsoft Defender for Business automatically investigates, alerts, and helps you remediate complex threats, acting as your personal security analyst, working 24/7 hours to protect your business. All these features are available in Microsoft 365 Business Premium or as a standalone SKU. Let's take a quick look at a video that explains the free evaluation and the technology experts that can help you start this journey.
Are you planning to modernize your business? At no cost to you and working hand in hand with your technology partner, Microsoft can provide great resources to help you identify and deploy the right solutions for today's needs and tomorrow's growth. On one hand, you can get a rapid and secure evaluation of your current technology environment. This evaluation delivers actionable, data-driven insights into security vulnerabilities, optimization opportunities, and other areas of improvement. Another complimentary resource available to you is our experienced team of Microsoft expert consultants who can provide analysis, guidance, and next steps in critical areas such as optimizing costs, enhancing cybersecurity, designing your cloud architecture, enhancing the skills of your team, and answering any other technical questions you might have. Through an evaluation and/or with the help of our experts, we can create a customized business and adoption plan tailored to your needs. Microsoft is here to support you and your technology partner as you embark on a technology modernization journey. Get started by talking with your Microsoft Solutions Advisor today.
Thank you for your time today, and please take note of the email address on the slide to take benefit of these free resources discussed today. Once you email this alias, you'll have access to the evaluation we've discussed and also the technology experts available to you. Thank you once again for your time, and please do reach out if you've got any further questions.
Hi, my name is Brad Garsten from Privacy Care. Today we're going to talk to you about protecting and scaling your business with cybersecurity. Cybersecurity has become more and more important. Accenture cybercrime study reveals that 43% of cyber attacks happen to small businesses. 14% of small businesses are actually prepared for these attacks. And interestingly, 95% of cyber breaches are attributed to human error. Small businesses face a lot of challenges. And from a cybersecurity perspective, data breach, ransomware, and phishing are three of the big ones. Data breaches are obvious. Account hacking, disgruntled insiders resulting in financial losses and reputational damage. Ransomware is when somebody takes over or hijacks your systems and basically requests money or ransom to free those systems. Could be your website, could be your routers, hubs, or switches, could be any parts of your infrastructure that they get access to. Phishing is another big one that's on the rise. Socially engineered attacks continue to be significant with phishing. You've probably seen many of these. I know I get them all the time. And that's when a bad actor puts forms and information in front of you that look familiar to get you to complete them so they can capture your data. What can you do about these things? Data protection is a good first step. So classify and protect all your sensitive data and securely encrypt it. Apply encryption to the data at rest and also data that's in transit. So that's data that sits on your servers and data that you're moving around. Top of the encryption with DLP, data loss protection. There are tools that can track data and block attempts from unauthorized users. It is also important to limit employee access to confidential data. Threat reduction. Proactively meeting potential threats is a good way to reduce the chances of an actual attack. So encrypting email, for example, and threat scanning, and making sure that your systems have no gaps or issues And that way you have an opportunity to be able to see incoming and outgoing information and data and be able to detect malware. Tracking incoming and outgoing network traffic to make sure that there's no intrusion on your systems is also significantly important, as well as making sure your firewall is set up correctly and accurately. And finally, unfortunately, preparing. Incident response is critical. You don't want to be stuck in a situation where you don't have a plan. So even coming up with a basic plan to help you when something occurs, if something occurs, will be the most productive path. So identify and contain whatever the problem is step one. Protect your critical assets, threat elimination and mitigation, and then restoring your systems so you can get functional again. Then really mapping the network area, looking at the damage and whatever data integrity was lost. And from there, you can take that learning, and there are several other steps behind it, including auditing what actually occurred and carrying out test drills and simulations to make sure that you and your team are prepared if something were to happen. And a way to get that started is to engage a cybersecurity professional. Even if your team has an IT person, or you even are lucky enough to have a cybersecurity person, having a professional come in with fresh eyes to work with them to conduct some penetration testing and even to set up an incident response plan for you would be extremely helpful. They're likely going to detect things that your team may or may not see just because they're looking at it for the first time. And part of that process to help you along this path is education. Educating your team and anybody who has access to your data, in addition to board members and potentially even partners if they have access to information that's somewhat sensitive. One easy step you can take there as well is to set up a barrier of two-factor authentication. You're probably seeing the rise of that with different systems that you use outside in your personal life. So this is a great solution to help with identifying and making sure you have multiple factor authentication. Business phishing is becoming increasingly sophisticated as a result of artificial intelligence. So it's critically important also to make sure that people are aware of that and conducting some of these tests to make sure that everybody knows what to do. Another step you can take almost immediately is backups. Make sure your critical data is actually, in fact, backed up in case there's a problem. Regularly updating your software and systems is also super important, making sure that everything's patched and in good state and standing. So we look at business as a house, and there are many different rooms to this house. Cybersecurity is one of those rooms to address and assess cyber risks. AI readiness is another one of these courses that we will record and put up here in the Resource Center in the coming months, in addition to privacy compliance. As you look at these different systems and areas, lower risk for cyber breaches is going to be extremely helpful, in addition to knowing the health of your network and operational improvements and savings and preventing calamity. We team up with Microsoft as a gold partner to provide these types of services. And we have a special program with Microsoft right now so that you can receive a free cybersecurity scan of your environment. Likely will identify different gaps and challenges that you might have that you didn't even know or you weren't even aware of. So we're happy to do this and conduct this free service for SBDA members, and you can simply use this code SBDA2023. No commitment, we just do this as a free service to help the ecosystem and the community. Thank you so much for your time and stay safe.
Hello, friends. Tim Hankins here with Judy Security. Construction companies, law firms, nonprofits, tech startups, or real estate and mortgage brokers. What do we all have in common these days? We all need access to the internet to grow and expand our business, to reach other partners, or connect with friends. And what does that come with? Bad actors, malicious threats? Sounds fun, right? 3,500 companies out there claim to be in cybersecurity. And the reality is, for your business, you're required to stitch them together, make sense of them, and put them into practicality. Doesn't sound like what you want to do with your business. You want to grow and expand your business and make more money. With Judy Security, we've created an all-in-one AI-based platform to help you on your cybersecurity journey. Whether you're just starting or you're well on your way, we're able to give you the protection with a host of products that include endpoint protection, multi-factor, single sign-on, or DNS filtering from ransomware or malicious attacks. With Judy Security, we have your back. And for example, we had a customer recently win a government award where they were going to win a nice windfall of money, but they required some CMMC compliance. With Judy Security, we were able to identify the framework that they needed. We're able to help them with the controls and put together the framework for an auditor to review and inspect the business. And now they're able to win the award and continue their journey. And it was a large windfall for their business, impacted them greatly. With that, Judy Security can help impact your business in a positive way as well. We look forward to this partnership, and we'll talk to you very soon. Thank you.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Natalie Poindexter, and I am the founder and principal consultant of Authentic Inclusion Consulting. At Authentic Inclusion, we focus on supporting small to mid-sized businesses and accessing all of the funding opportunities that are applicable to their businesses. And some of the ways that we do that is help with grant writing, and technical assistance. And today, as a local ally for the Small Business Digital Alliance, I want to talk to you about scaling your business using ChatGPT and how to have the most applicable resources built for your grant application. We all know how helpful AI is when it comes to building and scaling our business, but we don't want to sound like a robot. And so when using ChatGPT to help build your grant application, what I've added into our digital resources are ways that you can upload prompts into ChatGPT, like for your business persona, to help it understand how best to sound like you. We have uploaded a business persona prompt, an executive summary and project abstract, as well as evaluation plan, timeline, and budget justification prompts so that you can use those to help build a real narrative to apply for your business and applications for your grants. One way that we've used this recently is helping a nonprofit down in Florida build out their grant application. The fun part was their deadline changed, and we did not have the additional support to be able to build out their application. We went to ChatGPT, and the wonderful part about this was we were able to build their appropriate business persona, fill out parts of the application that they did not have done already, and get their application in before the deadline. In the slide deck that you'll find in the digital resource library, you will see a variety of different prompts to use. One that we are going to walk through now is building your business persona with ChatGPT. And I will show you how to do that and easily understand, is it the right context, language, and narrative format. And once you have copied over from the PowerPoint presentation into ChatGPT, you will drop it here and start to fill in the areas that are bracketed. That is talking about the type of business that you have, your goals and objectives, as well as what it is that you want to do with this funding. One of the most important things to make sure that you do is to be able to capture how you will spend the money from this funder. At the end of the year or whenever you're telling them how you spent their money, making sure that these goals and objectives connect so that you have a better story to tell. And once you've completed filling out the areas that have the brackets around them, you will have a full completed product of your business persona. From there, you can go in and upload pieces like your evaluation plan, your timeline, or areas for your budget justification. The best part is your business persona is built and you're ready to go. Now, as wonderful as ChatGPT is, I highly recommend connecting with a grant writer to support you before you hit submit. You can come to Authentic Inclusion or anyone else that you have worked with previously. All of these resources can be found in the digital resource library for the SBDA, and we look forward to be able to support you in scaling and protecting your business.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Friedman, Marketing Director for Small Business Growth at GS1 US. When you want to scale and work with more retailers, you're going to need a basic supply chain foundation. Using standardized barcodes like the ones from GS1 US, you can work with more platforms and more retailers. Take it from our friends at locally.com. In this video, you'll see the importance of the UPC to surface the right product at the right time for the right customer. Remember, to position yourself for growth, the first step is to go to gs1us.org and get that barcode. And don't forget, we have a variety of tools available on the SBDA Digital Tool Library, including a barcode estimator. Enjoy the video.
I'm a third-generation local retailer. My family started in the sporting good business back in 1972 and provided service for the New Orleans area. And during that period of time, I recognized that local stores were being cut off to the online shopper. There was a gap where I've decided I want this product, but I can't see that a local store has it. That was that gap that we set out to solve. We wanted to show the customer, yes, you can order this and get it in 3 or 4 days, or you can drive a car a mile and it's available right now for you. Locally is a platform that seeks to connect online shoppers to where they can complete their purchase at a nearby store. And the GS1 standard is critical to making that possible. We all understand barcodes. We recognize those, that we all have a common number that we can connect to, the G10. G10s are standard across all markets, all retailers, all industries, and so without having access to standard information, it would be a mess. It makes it so that we have a source of truth about that product. We decided that it would be foundational to the way that we connected to local stores. You know, if you shop online and see that a particular shoe that you're looking for is in stock at your local Orleans shoe store, you could have that item waiting at the counter when you walk in the door. If you visit the TriNet website, Locally powers virtually every aspect of where to buy their products, and all the various different pieces of online engagement are created via Locally. It makes the entire shopping experience much more convenient. So we have to use a single standard that both the retailer and the brand both are willing to adopt. And the GS1 standard is critical to making that possible.
Hello, my name is Carmen Glick. I'm the CEO of Ship4wd. I'm excited to speak with you here and discuss how you can scale and protect your business within global trade. What we are working in Ship4wd is to create solution specifically to you, to small businesses, that allow you to support your business in the best way. And what we are doing in Ship4wd is actually to create an ecosystem that allows small businesses to click in, register, be able to search the information or the service you are required, compare quotes, online booking, have your shipment tracking, and also create financial solution in the case you need it. We are providing all-in-one platform that can support small businesses in their day-to-day work with global trading. There is so much going out there with your own business, with your own supplier, with your own customer. You probably have to kind of struggle with a lot of different tasks going in and out. And what we are saying actually that we are taking on ourselves to provide a full service and provide information without the need of anybody being SMEs in this world. We're also providing 24/7 live experts support, because we are aware from our very vast experience working with small businesses that from 9 to 5, you are very busy with your own company, employees, suppliers, customers. Not often you have time to deal with supply chain, deal with issues, deal with invoices, deal with, did my container arrive on time or not? Where is my shipment? So we have created an ecosystem that will allow you to log in at any point of time, Christmas, holiday, weekend, wherever it fits to your needs. And we can provide you a hybrid solution that combines technology, but also combine live expert support wherever you need it. With a vast experience with logistics and shipping, that situation and challenges within global shipping and logistics will always occur. And it's not about if things will go wrong, but when things will go wrong. So we are very much focused on making sure that small size businesses are very much prepared. We are completely online and accessible from any location and anywhere, and all the information accessed in one platform. Now I want to share with you an example of one of our clients, Kate, the CEO and founder of BeneFab, as she shared how Ship4wd helped her to scale and protect her business. I hope you will enjoy it and see you later.
My name is Kat Chrysostom, and I am the founder of BeneFab, which is a company that specializes in beneficial fabrics, is what it stands for. Our supply chain stretches across 3 countries. So our fabrics, they're being made in one place in Taiwan is where our fabrics are. And then they are being shipped to either China or Vietnam to be sewn. And then we also do some out of South America as well. So we have all these moving parts. So the shipping aspect has been equally as frustrating as it has been with the inventory. I have been blown away by Ship4wd support. That's really amazing to me, and also the ability to input all of the information and get a real quote back and options back. From my perspective, having this like all-in-one solution to shipping is so imperative because there's a lot of moving pieces when it comes to either one of those things. I think having that convenience of having everything in one place allows the business owners and the employees to have more time on their hands to do other things that are equally as important inside of the business. Ship4wd offers this blend of kind of the best of both worlds when it comes to something that's affordable, but the service element is there. So I think what you guys are bringing to the industry is refreshing, and I think it's very needed. And I love that you're giving really a turnkey digital platform for small businesses. And I hope that it gets all that it's deserved to have.
Thank you, Kate, for sharing your story with us. I would like to end this talk with emphasis about what's going to happen in 2024. I believe 2024 brings a lot of opportunities to small and mid-sized businesses. First and foremost, rates have decreased significantly, which allow more small to mid-sized businesses to entertain with global trade and make sure you have the right partner doing so. There is more and more technology coming to our industry in accelerated way. And I believe that the digital freight forwarders and the right partners for small to medium-sized businesses are the right one to take care of your business and allowing you to scale with global trade as a support to your customers and suppliers. Thank you, SBDA, for including Ship4wd in your webinar. Ship4wd, we support businesses to thrive in the competitive global trade. We hope you enjoyed our talk and looking forward to interact with you in the future.
Welcome to Continuity Strength, your trusted partner in helping small businesses scale and protect themselves in the face of unexpected disruptions. Today, we're going to delve into the vital theme of scaling and protecting your business through the lens of a real-life case study. We'll witness how a small business owner transformed adversity into an opportunity for growth. But first, let's understand why business continuity planning is crucial and our role as proud members of the U.S. Small Business Administration's Small Business Digital Alliance, SBDA. In today's dynamic business landscape, small businesses face various threats, from cyber attacks to severe weather events. The unexpected can strike at any moment, making it imperative for businesses to be prepared. This is where contingency planning in the form of a business continuity plan comes into play. These plans help you confidently navigate unplanned events like cyber attacks and severe weather to avoid getting sidelined. We work closely with the SBDA to help small businesses become more resilient, recognizing that each business is unique. Our mission is to empower small businesses to navigate disruptions with confidence. Let's meet Jenna, the owner of Jenna's Bake Shop. Jenna's small bakery faced a significant challenge when a severe weather event threatened her business. Let's hear her story.
Running a small bakery is my dream come true, but it comes with its share of challenges. When a severe storm hit our town, I never imagined it would impact my business. The power outage and damage to the store were overwhelming.
Jenna's story is a familiar one, but her response to the crisis sets her apart. Let's explore how she managed to scale and protect her business. Protecting your business is critical if you eventually want it to scale. This can be a delicate balance, but with the right plan, you can turn challenges into opportunities.
Here's how Jenna did it.
The storm was a wake-up call for me. I knew I had to be better prepared for such situations. So, I created a business continuity plan.
There are many ways to create your business continuity plan. The SBDA's digital library provides a checklist of items to consider if you are creating a business continuity plan on your own. Alternatively, users looking for an automated solution like Continuity Strength simply answer the online questions and have one created for them. The method you choose does not matter, as long as the plan is created. Step 1. Assess your vulnerabilities to identify potential weak points in your business operations.
We developed a contingency plan that included backup power solutions, improved inventory management, and communication strategies for customers during disruptive events.
Step 2. Implement a tailored continuity plan that addresses your specific vulnerabilities and challenges.
With the contingency plan in place, we were not only better prepared for severe weather events, but also more efficient in our day-to-day operations.
Step 3. Use disruptions as opportunities for growth. Jenna's Bake Shop not only recovered but thrived by turning adversity into a chance for positive change.
We used our experience from the storm to launch an online store, offering delivery and pickup options. It expanded our customer base and boosted our revenue.
Step 4. Embrace changes and keep adapting. Continuously adapt the plan to the evolving business environment. Whether you're dealing with the aftermath of a severe weather event, a cyber attack, or any unplanned disruption, take action to protect and scale your business. Remember, you're not alone. The U.S. Small Business Administration's Small Business Digital Alliance is here to support you. Thank you for joining us today. To learn more about how we can assist you in scaling and protecting your business, access the resources in the SBDA's digital library. Stay resilient, stay strong, and remember that you have the power to turn challenges into opportunities. We're here to help you on your journey to success. This is Continuity Strength, your partner in making your small business more resilient. Signing off.